Hey everybody, Captain B-Nard back here with another Wi-Fi battle. So today we have another game against Al. This is a friend and fan of the channel I should say here. Blah. So we've battled him. I believe this is our fourth match here on Scarlet and Violet, but we've battled him several times back on both BDSP and Sword and Shield as well. So he always brings some pretty fun and interesting and original teams to battle. Strong as well. So as we can see there, his team on the side is going to live up to all of that there. Very strong looking team. Pretty original looking team as well. Looking at my team, it is the same one that I've been using the past few games here. So, what do I want to lead with in this one? Not a ton of time to decide. That is going to be a good question. I think we're actually going to go with the Palo Sand in this one. And we'll see how that works out. So we always have some pretty intense games here, so hopefully this one will be no different. But yeah. So it looks like he is going to go ahead and lead with the Samurott, which was definitely not what I wanted to see with the Palo Sand lead. So, yeah, we can't really stay in on this matchup too much. We don't want to take a big attack from this thing right out of the gate. How do we want to play this? We do have some resistances to his stab moves. So I feel like... What do we want to really do in this situation? This thing does have a pretty decent move pool, but I think what we're going to do here... How do we want to handle this? I think we have to switch to the Altaria. I think that's really our best option here, so that's what we're going to do, and we'll see what he wants to do. So, there it is. And he is just going to go for the Ice Beam, so he plays it safe, predicts the switch, and that's just going to go ahead and one-shot our Altaria outright and knock us down to 5. So that is a absolutely terrible start to the game for us. Yeah, so let's see, what can we do to bounce back? I think we're going to have to go ahead and come in with the Raichu, so that's what we're going to do. So there that is. Now... he has a pretty obvious switch out into the Crocodile here, so I don't think he's going to want to stay in on this matchup here, so I think what we're actually going to do, predicting the switch, since he does have the electric immunity on deck, is we could definitely go for the Surf here. So I feel like that's what we should do, anticipating the switch. So that is what we're going to do, as he is indeed going to go for the switch. Is he going to bring in one of his Pokemon weak to water? He is going to bring in the Crocodile, so he does make the switch, gets the Intimidate, cuts our attack. Not going to matter because we're special. We go for the Surf, we're max special attack with the choice specs, and even so, that is only going to take this thing down to about 3rd HP, so that's a little surprising, honestly. I would think that we would have got more damage there, so this might actually be a pretty defensive Crocodile, actually, which is kind of surprising. Now, unfortunately, we don't have a lot of great switches into Crocodile. We do have one. Now, I don't really think we can risk the Raichu after losing our Altaria so early and being at a disadvantage. I feel like we have to try and play it a little safer here. We could potentially outspeed the Crocodile, but I don't want to chance it. I don't think we can afford to make that risk at this point, so we're going to go ahead and switch the Raichu out and switch in with the Brute Bonnet, as we do have the resistance to both this thing's stab moves. So we're going to come in with that, as he's actually going to double switch himself here. Not sure what he was predicting, but he's going to go ahead and switch in with the Altaria. So that's actually not too bad for us. We know Altaria pretty well. We know that it can't hit super hard, but at the same time it can have coverage for us. So we're in kind of an interesting situation here because this thing is going to probably be rocking the natural cure ability, which means that if we put it to sleep, it is going to be able to just go ahead and switch out and no longer be asleep. So I feel like we could try to put this thing to sleep, but if he decides to switch, we could also put something else to sleep, which would be nice. At the same time, I don't know if we really want to risk taking a big attack from this thing, but also at the same time, we don't have a lot of great switch options to the Altaria outside of, or left anyway, so not much time to make a decision here. We're going to make a prediction here, and we're actually going to switch back into the Raichu, predicting the flying move on this thing, and it looks like he did stay in. So we're going to go ahead and come back in with the Raichu here, as he is going to go for the Hurricane. He does hit the Hurricane, unfortunately, and that takes us down by about a third, with a critical hit, actually. So that is kind of okay. Now, once again, we're in an interesting situation, because he knows that we predicted the ground type last time in the Crocodile coming in. So the question becomes, is he going to make that switch again? And I feel like he doesn't make that switch again, because if he does and we go Surf again, that takes him out. So I think he is going to switch, but not into the Crocodile. So predicting that, we're going to actually go for the Volt Switch here, as he actually stays in. We go for the Volt Switch. That is going to take this thing down by about a third, which is decent damage. And we are going to get the pivot. So the question is, what is he going for here? We know he's probably not going to be choice locked now. But what move is he going to go for here? That is the question. I didn't think he would stay in, so this is a little bad for us. What do we bring in to try and take an attack from this Altaria? I feel like Flareon's probably the best bet, so we're going to go in with Flareon actually here and see where that gets us. So there's the Flareon. He is going to go for a Roost actually, which is interesting. So he's going to go ahead and heal back up to full HP, so that is interesting. We are going to get poisoned off the Toxic Orb, which is going to activate our Guts, raising our attack. Now, he does have a switch out here, or a switch in, I should say. He has a couple of switch ins potentially to us, if he anticipates the normal type attack. So the question is going to be here: do we want to try and anticipate the switch again? I feel like he doesn't stay in here. So what we're going to do actually is we're going to go ahead and go for a Trailblaze here and see what he wants to do. I don't feel like he stays in, but we'll have to see how he's going to want to play this. So, what's it going to be? That is the question. And he does stay in. He actually outspeeds us, goes for a Roost, which is interesting. We go ahead and go for a Trailblaze here, which is going to do basically no damage, but it is going to go ahead and raise our speed, and that is pretty important, because I think now with the speed increase, I think we actually will outspeed him. So knowing that, I think this turn, he probably doesn't, again, I don't know, I'm a little thrown off by the fact that he keeps staying in, but I feel like we got to go for the Facade this time, so that's what we're going to do. We may actually outspeed this thing now, thanks to the speed increase, which would be incredible, because I don't think this thing can take a Facade. Indeed, this time he's going to go for the switch, unfortunately, and he's going to switch in. What is he going to switch in with? It is going to be the Crocodile, so he's going to come in and get the Intimidate to lower our attack here. We do go for the Facade, and from that range, that's going to go ahead and finish the Crocodile off, which is incredible for us. That is going to go ahead and knock him down to 5, so that is a big potential threat out of the way. And that is great news. So we do take some more poison damage on the Flareon. Now he is going to get a free switch into something else, and he is going to come back in with the Altaria. So I'm not 100% sure why. That's a little interesting. So we know he has Hurricane and Roost here. So I feel like we definitely survive any attack this thing goes for here, unless he breaks out a Terra, which if he's Terra Ghost, although we are actually, maybe not, because we are actually at -1 attack, so I almost forgot about that. So knowing that, I think I actually want to reset our attack as well as our poison damage counter here. So we're actually going to switch into the Raichu here, predicting maybe another Hurricane or a Roost or something. Hopefully we can absorb a flying attack. So going to come in with Raichu here, as he does go for another Hurricane, and he does hit it, and he does knock us down below half there. So that's a little unfortunate. But the only good news about this is now his switch is gone. His immunity to electric is now gone. So we can freely go for our electric attacks in that situation. Now, I don't know if he's going to want to stay in here or not, but we do actually have the option to Terra. Now, unfortunately, we could, if we Terra, I feel like a Terra Blast definitely takes this thing out, but at the same time, I don't know if I want to burn my Terra on Raichu since it's weakened now. So this is going to be a difficult decision to make for us. You know what? I feel like we do it. I feel like we have to try and make the plays here. So we're going to go ahead and Terrastalize. We're going to hope that he stays in this time. We're going to go ahead and Terrastalize Raichu and go for the Terra Blast Ice, and he does stay in. Okay, so we may have gotten the prediction here. We're going to go ahead and Terra our Raichu, Terrastalizing into a pure Ice type. So there it is. We know we outspeed him from last time. And he does not Terra, which is incredible. We go for the Terra Blast Ice. And is it going to be enough at max special attack choice specs? Yes, it is going to be enough to go ahead and take that Altaria out and knock him down to 4. So that is an incredible turn of events for us. We may have had to use our Terra, but definitely worth it in this situation to get rid of that Altaria, which looked pretty bulky. So now he is going to go ahead and come in with the Lycanroc. So we can pretty safely assume that the Accelerock is coming here. We definitely don't want to lose a Raichu for no reason, so we're just going to go ahead and switch directly into the Palossand here. We're going to make the obvious switch. Hopefully he doesn't have something on deck for us and predict this, but we do have the Rock immunity with the Palossand, and we also are pretty bulky on the physical side and max HP investment. So we're going to go ahead and come in with the Palossand here, as he is going to go for the Crunch, so unfortunately he predicts that switch, goes for the Crunch, and that does a truckload of damage to us, unfortunately knocking us down to about a quarter. He does take some Life Orb recoil damage there, but unfortunately, even after the Leftovers recovery, we can definitely not take another one of those, so that is really unfortunate for us. Yeah, so this is not a great situation for us to be in. So the Palossand, I don't think there's really anything we can do to save the Palossand at this point. We don't really have, I mean, we do have a switch to a Crunch, but I really don't want to make, that would be a terribly risky play that I don't want to make. So unfortunately, I think we just have to let Palossand go down here. That's really all we can do, I think. So we're just going to go ahead and we're just going to click Giga Drain here, but he actually just goes for another Crunch, so it's not going to matter, as the Palossand is going to go down. And that is going to knock us down to 4. So that is a little unfortunate, as he does take some more Life Orb recoil damage. The only good thing about this is that now we do get a clean switch into this thing, and our best course of action here is going to be to come in with the Barraskewda, so that's what we're going to do. So we know we naturally outspeed this thing. Knowing that, I don't think he's going to want to stay in on this matchup. Now, he does have some potential switches in here to this, so he very well could switch out. I feel like he probably will switch out, but all the same, I feel like we still have to... He could have Accelerock too, that's another possibility, just for some chip on the way out. So, how do we want to play this? I feel like Aqua Jet takes him out if he stays in anyway. So, how do we want to play this? I don't feel like he stays in, so I feel like we probably go Liquidation here. Yeah, I feel like we go Liquidation here. So he does not stay in, as expected. So what's he going to come in with here? It is going to be the Belly Bolt. So that thing's coming in. We go for a Choice Band Max Attack Liquidation on this thing. It takes it down by about exactly half. So he is packing Leftovers as well, which is unfortunate, because that means that after that Leftovers recovery, another Crunch will definitely not take this thing out, which means we definitely can't stay in on it. If we predict the Electric move, we could get in with Raichu for a Lightning Rod to increase our special attack, but I don't think that's a chance I'm willing to take right now. So I think we switch to the Brute Bonnet. That's definitely a much safer play. So that's what we're going to do, as he has been predicting pretty well and pretty hard this game. So going to go ahead and come in with the Brute Bonnet here, as he is going to go for a Muddy Water, anticipating the Raichu switch, so that's not going to do much of any damage to the Brute Bonnet, which is great, and then we are going to get some HP back with the Leftovers. So now we have an opportunity here, as this thing's also going to regain some HP with its Leftovers. We have an opportunity, I believe, to go ahead and put something to sleep here. So I think that's 100% what we're going to want to do here. We're just going to go straight for a Spore and put something to sleep. I think we actually do outspeed this thing, although I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, Spore's definitely the play right now. As he does stay in, we do go Spore, and we are just going to go ahead and put this thing to sleep. So that is incredible. To go ahead and get that thing asleep, and of course it is asleep this turn, so not sure if he was predicting the Spore or if he just or not sure, but anyway, we're both going to regain some HP with the Leftovers here, and yeah, that is that. So at this point, I think best course of action here is to try and hit this thing hard, so we're just going to stay in here and go close combat, as he is going to switch out. What is he going to switch in with here? It is going to be the Typhlosion. So predicting the Grass move, he comes in for the Typhlosion, but we go close combat instead. That is going to do a lot of damage to this thing, knocking it down to about a third HP, which is great damage. We get our defenses cut, but now he's definitely within range that a Sucker Punch will take him out, I think. So we're just going to make the obvious play and go for that. He might read this, but it's not a chance we need to take. He does stay in. We go Sucker Punch, and we do catch the Typhlosion with that to go ahead and take it out and knock him down to 3. So that is absolutely incredible for us. Brute Bonnet doing some great work here, getting us in the game. And Typhlosion could have wreaked havoc on our team, so definitely great to see that thing go down. But now he's going to come in with the Lycanroc. So with our defenses cut, we can't really take an attack from this thing, I don't think, so we have to switch out. Based on what he has left, he's got the Lycanroc, he's got the Belly Bolt that's asleep, and he's got the Samurott. So I feel like we definitely switch out, and I feel like we switch in here. He probably goes for the Fighting move to take us out. That's what I'm thinking. So unfortunately, Raichu might have to be the sacrifice here. Raichu, I feel like Raichu probably, we probably have to sack something to this thing, so I feel like we got to just switch the Raichu in now, because we can't lose Brute Bonnet like this, so we have to get out. So we got to switch Raichu back in, unfortunately, here, and we're probably going to go down, as he is going to go ahead and pop his Terra, so he's going to go ahead and Terrastallize the Lycanroc, as the timer is going to start to play a factor into a Fighting type here. So Terrastallizing to a pure Fighting type, so losing his weaknesses, rock weaknesses. He goes for the close combat as expected, and obviously that's going to destroy our Raichu here, cutting his defenses in the process, which is key, but that is going to destroy the Raichu and knock us down to 3. So now we're going to have a judgment call to make. So he is going to take some Life Orb recoil damage here. So now, unfortunately, with him being a Fighting type, he resists the Dark, so we can't come in with Brute Bonnet. I don't think Flareon can take a close combat. Terra boosted, Tough Claws, all that good stuff. So really what we have to do here is go ahead and come in with our Barraskewda. So that's what we're going to do. And so his defenses are dropped. So, unfortunately, he's no longer weak to water, so an Aqua Jet definitely won't take him out from this range. Now, we could go for it for Chip, but I feel like the best course of action here is probably going to be to go for a close combat of our own, because I don't feel like he stays in here again. So we're going to go close combat, as he is going to switch out. Okay, perfect. So he switches out, and he's going to be coming in with the Samurott once again. We go close combat here. Max attack choice band. It's not quite enough to get the kill on this thing, unfortunately, as we do take some defense drops here. So, yeah, now we're in a situation where do we stay in or do we not stay in, is the question. I feel like we don't stay in here because Barraskewda's our only way to threaten the, what's it called? Yeah, it's the only way to threaten a Lycanroc, so we have to switch. I think we got to switch to Flareon here, so that's what we're going to do. So with less than a minute left on the clock here, we're going to bring the Flareon in, and he is going to go for a Grass Knot, so that's incredible. That's going to do next to no damage to us, which is great, as we take some recoil there from the poison. So I feel like best course of action here, he might stay in. So we're going to go quick attack on him here, as he does indeed switch out. So he's probably choice on that thing, unfortunately. So he switches directly into the Belly Bolt. So that thing comes in. We go for a quick attack here, which is not going to do much of any damage to this thing, unfortunately. And then he is going to go ahead and regain some HP with the leftovers. So we are also going to take some poison damage here. So I think he still has one more turn. He may have one more turn of sleep guaranteed. I'm not sure. But either way, I think we just go ahead and switch to the Brute Bonnet. I think that's our play. But timer just runs out, actually. And we actually are going to grab the win there. So we actually do grab a 3-3 win there over Al. Reason being is because our Pokemon have more HP left. So yeah, that was a very intense match. Very close, very competitive, right down to the wire. Unfortunately, the timer playing a factor once again here. But yeah, that was definitely a great one. And while functionally a 3-3 tie, we do technically get the victory at 3-3 there. So, yeah, not much else to say except for just another really intense match. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching again, everybody. Hope you all enjoyed. Please hit that like button, leave a comment, and or subscribe if you did enjoy, and stay tuned for more new battles in the future. So that's it, and we'll see you next time.